The idea for this event really sprang from a conversation I had last fall with Tom Kenan down in Chapel Hill. Tom is devoted to Mary Semans, and when I said that we were planning a 75th anniversary party for the gardens with Mary as an honorary chair, but because of the economy we were thinking that it might not be a good time to ask people to pay to go to a gala dinner, Tom said, absolutely not. We cannot miss an opportunity to celebrate this momentous anniversary and to honor Mary. So he made a personal pledge to get the planning started, and then he arranged for the William R. Kenan Jr. Charitable Trust to follow up with a donation that made it possible for us to invite all of these wonderful, dear old friends of the gardens here this evening at no cost.
I think one of the most important aspects of the Duke Garden is the fact that students enjoy it. On the first day of spring, they seem to flock out, sunbathe, and just walk through. Also, it's probably one of the most important visitor sites when foreign visitors and visitors from this country come to the Triangle area. It's high on the list, and it leaves a wonderful, favorable impression on all of these visitors.
So we were able to celebrate the 75th anniversary of the gardens, which were also born in tough economic times. We were able to honor the Barter family for a significant gift that they gave to us, and we've dedicated the Terrace House, that's now the Terrace Cafe, in their honor.
This is a place where you can experience nature at its most beautiful, but you want to know something? Nature did not create Duke Gardens. And I just want to say, Britt and Marilyn and Brindle, what a happy day this is, and how grateful every inhabitant of this university will be for what you've made possible today. This will now be named the Barter Family Terrace House.
And then go over to the cafe and get
Terrace
lunch.
Cafe.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a special spot.
Or anywhere
now.
there's a bench. It's a good place to study, especially when you live on East and it's tiny. And then you can come over here and there's flowers and it's quiet and, you know, I like it.
I come here almost every week. Cindy and I come here for a walk almost every Sunday, and I suppose everybody knows my wife works in the garden 4 hours a week, so she knows the place intimately.
It's really a great way to engage with the world, to use your body, to use your mind and your aesthetic sense. All those things come together for me. I think it's the high point of my week. I really love it, and I hope it's not too selfish of me to do this, because I learn so much from the horticulturists. They're fabulous. They're just so knowledgeable.
And just to have this amazing assemblage of old and new friends of the garden together for the 75th anniversary is just truly a joy and a blessing.
I think a lot of what happened tonight that we're honoring 75 years, 25 plus of those were really based on Bill Culberson's contributions. And I simply picked up where he was and carried on some of the areas that makes the gardens as beautiful as they are.
The lawn and the terrace are really my favorite.
Well, your habit was to come and sit under the pergola.
Yeah.
I first came to the garden when I had been named the incoming president, and Nan Cohan was still here as president. And the president's office is right behind the great lawn. So we used to, in the springtime, we used to sometimes just come down and sit on a bench in the garden as a much more delightful place to have a meeting than sitting in the office.
I think the terraces, the native plants, and the Asiatic, just sort of a loop through, is one of my favorite routes through the gardens.
But my first memory of a garden was when I was quite young and my mother took me to the Duke Gardens on a pretty Sunday afternoon, which was very popular back in the 1940s and 50s.
Well, my first memory is of Dr. Frederic Haynes. He was the first professor of medicine up at Duke Hospital, and there was nothing here except just some plants. And so I remember Dr. Haynes taking my mother, and I followed along, but he was saying, don't you want to do something about this whole area? And she said, yes, what's your vision for it? And it was just marvelous. He got the idea that this should be gardens instead of a lake, which they had decided maybe they could do. Well, the lake was too expensive, and the connections and all that with the lake would have been very difficult. But this, of course, so many more people can enjoy. And my mother just loved flowers. I've never seen anybody who enjoyed them more than she did.
It's wonderful because the gardens are literally right down the street from the museum, and when I'm feeling tired at work or stressed and need to get away at lunchtime, I can just walk over, and it's always a haven of beauty and peacefulness, and I'm just amazed that this exists right here in Durham, you know, just a block from where I am every day. It's a beautiful, beautiful place.
In 1943, July the 1st, I joined the Navy and was stationed at Duke University.
I was at Duke by then also. I entered Duke in 43.
Of course, on weekends or at any time, we weren't allowed to leave the campus. That is, the Navy people. On weekends, Liv would come over from the girls' campus, which was East Campus at Duke, and we would meet in the gardens. And this went on for a couple of years. And one thing led to another, and then when the war was over, we got married.
And we love coming to the gardens.
And we
come
still
so
come
often we can watch the development of different areas and know a little bit about the flowers.
We still come out here 3 or 4 times a week. I don't jog anymore, but we walk, and I hope we can keep doing it for a long time.
It's really a rare treasure to be able to hear these stories from the people that really made this garden come to life so long ago.
I've often said that people really who don't know Duke very well just love the gardens, and they come. I'm so thrilled that so many people from out of town come here, so many people from other countries. So it's great. The more people who come, the better off it is.